Okay, we're going to start with a trick question, and that is, how many fingers do you have? Of course, you're thinking you've got 10 fingers, and in fact, if you don't have 10 fingers, it's going to be hard. But the truth is, you don't actually have 10 fingers. What you have are 8 fingers, and then these things. They're like a hybrid between your arm and fingers. They're half man, half beast. And the reason is because your thumb can act both as an arm, if I'm playing something like this, and that was acting as an extension of my arm, and it also can act solely like a finger if I'm doing something like this. That has nothing to do with my arm, that's my thumb acting as a finger. So we're going to work on a really simple exercise. I call this thumb liberation. Now, if you ask most people to drum their fingers, they can, whether they're pianists or not, they can very easily do this. This is not so hard for people. But what separates a pianist from the general public is the shifting of the thumb. So it's not just doing this, but doing that, where I'm playing thumb to thumb, because this requires a real taming of my thumb to act solely as a finger and not as this kind of brute finger that's really strong, but can act as an extension of my arm. So let's try this really simple exercise. Try this at the piano, and it's going to look like this. I'm going to play C, C sharp, D. It really doesn't matter. It's just a white, black, white combination. And I'm going to finger it 1, 2, 1. Now, as you do this, I want you to notice how much is my arm moving while I play this. And as you try it, ask yourself how much your arm is moving. And it really should be moving very minimally, because what I'm doing is I'm isolating the thumb to move on its own as opposed from its connection to the arm. So what I'm not doing is this. And if you've seen some of my videos, a common theme is that big body parts move very slowly. And the problem with doing this is that it's very hard to move my arm efficiently and move it quickly, because it's not very good at moving very quick. It's good at doing this. It's not good at kind of going back and forth. So let's work on this thumb liberation exercise in a few different possibilities. First, you'll notice at all times you must be even while you're playing this. So speed is great, but if it's not even, it doesn't count. So even if it's slow, you'll notice that my thumb is lifting from this joint here and moving over, and this stays stationary. Now, an important reminder, I am not tight. It's just that I'm not moving that part of my body, but it's not locked in any way, because I'm focusing on this motion. Second reminder is make sure that my thumb is in this position and not in this position. This is a really common, this is called I call this the flat tire position, where I'm down, dropping. Again, big body parts move slowly. This is a big clumsy motion. It's not going to be very fast. So I'm playing a little bit on the corner of my thumb, and again, it's lifting from this joint. Here's some good ways you can practice this to develop even better independence of your thumb. Let's use isolated accents. So I'm accenting the C, then let's try and accent the C sharp. Then let's try accenting the D, and each one of these you're going to repeat maybe for 20 seconds and see if you can make it always precise. Now, I'll bet you, if you haven't tried this before, this is what happens, is that people go to accent, and you'll find that you're accenting pretty well say the C sharp. And it'll spill onto the other note. This is a really normal thing, don't worry, but you want to make sure you can keep this up ruler straight with those selected and rhythmic accents. And so forth. People usually pick up this pretty fast until they can do it, well, probably in a day or two. Then, let's add version 2.0, which is going to be to shift the accents and play it in triplets. So we're going to go. So you hear the accent shifting. It's a kind of asymmetrical grouping, because I'm doing groups of 3 superimposed over to a group of actually that is 4. As you do this, again, you want to keep an arm that's pretty still, an active thumb, and you want to have ruler straight evenness. And eventually, now, what does this have to do with piano playing? Well, when you play your scales, the key for a good fast scale is a liberated thumb that is light, flexible, and moving from this joint and not collapsing, and it's not part of the arm's extension. When you play big, meaty chords, then I'm playing the thumb as an extension of the arm. That's when it's using its brute force. But this is fine finger work. It's my thumb being tamed into acting like a finger.